Hey, how's everybody doing? Henry Mims with England Brokers, bringing you the 321 on Shy. As you know, another edition of 321 Showcasing the Space Coast, where we showcase local people. This one's going to be for the little side piece project that we're doing for the come up. Shy, how's it going?
Good, can't complain.
As you know, we have a lot of local businesses in the area, and it takes a village to stay a village. Before we get into all that, though, just kind of take a minute with Shy and kind of tell us a little bit about you. Where did all this start?
So I recently started selling, but I've been thrifting for years. I've always found it crazy that I was spending $30 on clothes. So I ended up deciding to start looking at Goodwills and whatnot, and I started finding good stuff. So I've been buying for years, but more recently I've been starting to sell. So and I've been getting a lot of good feedback. So
that's nice. That's nice. So when you first started thrifting, because I mean I go to thrift stores and a lot of people that go to thrift stores. When did you first see and go, wait a minute, I can make money with this? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's the
sure.
aha moment.
I believe it was actually a couple years ago. I found it was like a 1980s Guess sweater, and it was like just the craziest thing I ever found. So I ended up grabbing that, and I think it was only like $4.19 or something of that nature. But I looked it up online, and it was like going for $150, $160, and I was like, there's got to be money in this.
Right. I would have like 50, right?
Yeah.
And you found this at a thrift store?
Yep. That's the only problem, though. You can't grab 50 of them because there's only one.
Yeah. That would be kind of a problem. So what is it that when you're out and you're thrifting, what is it that you're looking for specifically? Are you looking for a certain niche, or are you looking for whatever comes in front of you, or what are you looking for?
So definitely part of whatever comes in front of us. We're looking for essentially any major companies. Also looking any rock bands, sports. Disney's been huge lately. Anything Disney, especially older Disney's been selling really well. Obviously NBA, like I said, sports. Anything with a really nice graphic. Harley Davidson's been huge too. So anything that just catches the eye, I'm pretty much pulling up and grabbing.
So what have you found it easiest to make money with? As far as the sports are concerned, would it be basketball? Would it depend on the seasons, or is there one sport that's kind of like, I could just do this all year long?
So I think it mostly boils down to the hype that comes behind a lot of those sports. So essentially, we're talking like Chicago Bulls, Green Bay Packers, stuff like that. All those teams that, well, obviously we know Bulls is MJ, but
right.
Green Bay is old. Chicago Bears are old. You're talking the 50s, 60s when they were playing. So
right.
A lot of those teams that bring that vintage feel to them. So
right.
A lot of those sell well.
So being that you're from around here, where did you go to high school?
Bayside High. Graduated 2017. Yep.
So you're a bear.
Yep.
Okay, we're not gonna pick on him for that because it's just my son goes to. My daughter went to Palm Bay.
Oh, okay.
And then my son goes to Heritage right now.
I don't have any hate towards any of our schools. I love them all. So.
Okay. The politician. I don't. I'm like, no. If you're playing against my kids, I hope you.
For sure.
I hope
we're playing sports by all means, but.
Oh yeah. So what sports did you play?
I played basketball. That's all I played actually. I played football up until my freshman year of high school, and then I cut the football out and just focused predominantly on basketball.
All right. So what position were you in basketball?
I was shooting guard, point guard, and a little bit of small forward. Kind of did all three.
Okay. So. Yeah. And what position were you in football?
Football, I was middle linebacker up until my ninth grade year. I think I played half a season of JV, played wide receiver, and I just didn't like it anymore. It was too degrading on my body, so I ended up just sticking with just basketball.
Yeah. Well, when I was in high school, I wrestled.
Oh, okay.
And so my freshman and sophomore year, everything was pretty gravy. And then I started feeling it my junior year, and by my senior year, I tore my rotator cuff. And then it was
that's nuts.
I'm feeling it hardcore now. My kids can hear me walking through the hallway. So when I try to sneak up on them to catch what they're doing, because they're up to no good. Yeah, and then they hear me, and then you see them trying to sleep, and they're squinching their eyes. You don't sleep with squinching eyes. nice.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyways, but so when you got out of high school, where'd you go from there?
So we went to I went to Minnesota. I played 1 year up at Northern Community Technical College. Came back and was at UCF. I did that up until I did that for about a year.
Mm-hmm.
Came back and graduated predominantly with my bachelor's in organizational management with a specialization in sales and marketing. So
Okay. So then that definitely ties into what it is that you're doing right now,
For sure.
because
Yep.
when you're building a brand, building a company,
Yep.
and then you have to know how to
market yourself,
Yeah.
market the company, go about all that. So
So there was a rhyme and a reason behind what you were doing.
Definitely.
Wait a minute. So which came first, the degree or the idea?
I guess technically the idea, but the idea was like a little P.
Right. No. I got you.
Definitely, I would say the degree kind of forced me to look in different avenues because for a while I was working the same, job. I've been working 80 hours a week for about 5 years now, so I'm always working. I was just trying to find more time to figure out what I like to do, and this is, of course, something I'm enjoying. So
So one of the things that I always try to tell people and try to impart on people is, you always got a job and then you got a hustle, you got a passion, you got all these different things that you have in place. But that passion, when you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, makes you want to get out of bed to go do it.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
definitely.
And when you do that often enough, it doesn't matter how long it takes. It's like we were talking about before, that a couple of people in their lives were, they were starting to get a little, and then now, boom. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yep.
So, and that's what it takes. And a lot of people aren't willing to take the time to let it finish out.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
So what do you, so you graduate college, and then obviously you've got a job now where you're doing this until you can get this to replace the job,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
What do you think it's going to take for you to get to that place? Is it going to be a storefront? Is it going to be online sales? Is it going to be pop-ups? Is it going to be what
I
is
think
it
it's
that's
going to be. I think it's going to be start with a couple things. So first would definitely be just interacting with the community as much as I can. I've been doing it as best I can now. We're doing a lot of giveaways here shortly, so
nice?
we're doing.
I like free stuff. Yeah.
We're doing a free shirt every week up until Halloween. So we're going to do a free shirt every week, and then of course, obviously at that we're doing sales as well. But like I said, interacting with community as much as I can. I'm actually my dad coaches for Bayside High, so we're actually working with him. Me and my longtime friend Zamar. He does all my drawings for my logos and whatnot.
Oh, nice.
We're actually going to do a collab with him and do a shirt that we're going to raffle off as well. And it'll be exclusive, only 5 shirts we're making. So it'll be definitely like a, force to reckon with as far as the shirt goes. And then from there, we kind of just, branch off. Obviously, online sales is going to be huge. I want to be able to sell to everywhere other than just Brevard.
Right.
And then, boiling down to the point is just more so connecting with the community. Obviously, online sales and just establishing myself, making sure I'm having people set reviews, giving me feedback as far as timely shipping, stuff in that nature. So,
and you have to be open to the there's a girl that I work with, and her and I have done quite a few things together. Her name is Christina Gordon, and she was talking because I was getting a little bit frustrated about something, and she said, "Listen, whether they boo or they cheer, it's all noise, and that's what makes you money."
Yeah, definitely.
So when I said, hold up a second, wait a minute, so, but the fact that you're open and part of the growing pains is you have to learn, and you also have to be humble enough to go, my bad.
Yeah, for sure.
I screwed up, my bad.
That's exactly why we want the feedback. I just want to make sure I'm shipping stuff out timely. The products that I'm putting out are, decent quality and stuff like that. I'm not trying to shortchange anybody or myself for that matter. So, definitely want to add on to making this more of a job rather than a passion. Well, both is making sure my prices stay low. Like I said, from Jump Street, that's been my main thing from day one, is just making sure my prices are beating 95% of everybody else. I want to be able to be number one, go to me for the cheaper prices. So
well, obviously that's going to also blend into when you start your own brand with your own logos and all that other stuff. You can do whatever you want with that because it's going to be yours.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, that tie-in would be sensational, especially if you can get it lifting off.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so that's going to be awesome. So you were talking earlier about somebody that was doing the brand. Is there anybody else that you're going to be bringing in or is it just going to be you solo? Are you partnered?
So
or
right
you
now-
collaborations?
Right now, for as far as thrifting goes, finding these old vintage pieces, vintage hats and whatnot. It's pretty much just me thrifting. As far as drawing, like I said, my friend Zamar is going to be tied in. I'm going to try and stay as tied in as I can with Bayside. That's where I graduated from. I'm an alumni. Shout out to Bayside. I'm going to try and stay as tied in as possible I can with my dad. Creating content. I'm probably going to try and hang a banger up as quick as possible with the logo posted up there. That way, the community sees.
Right.
And then as far as tying people in, I have another friend. He actually specializes in marketing, creating business cards and stuff. His name's Stefan. I'm actually going to be working with him. He's going to create all my business cards, thank you cards to send out with all my shipments and whatnot. So I'm tying as many people as I can, and both of those guys also graduated from Bayside. So just another 2 guys that are alumni.
See, and you're trying to. One of the things that we talk about here often on 321 Showcase in the Space Coast is building your village. Who sits at your table, things like that. And this is another great example. As you guys know, I'm old as hell. He's a lot younger than I am, but it's true though. But one of the things, the main takeaways is when you find out who sits at your table, then you can start to build other tables, and all those tables build a huge village and a network, so to speak.
Yep.
So when you get all this stuff going on, what do you see as? Is this something that is this the end game? You're trying to do something with this where there's an end game, or is it to branch out into other things?
So the whole thrifting thing is, I wouldn't necessarily say an end game, more so just a hobby that I'm making money with as well. The company and the brand definitely would be nice to be able to sit back and watch that become something where I can actually retire off of. Realistically, I'm honestly fine with it just being a side hustle for the rest of my life. I enjoy clothes, I love clothes, and I love thrifting, so it's all kind of just a big passion for me as it is. So it doesn't feel like work even though I'm working.
Yeah. That's an awesome feeling. I hate feeling like I have to watch the
Yeah, definitely.
I hate that.
$5
I've had
somewhere,
people say to me, "Oh, well, I work over here and I make this money," and I'm like, "Yeah, I could not be told when to go home. That's just never been able to do." I mean, I have, but it's just not my thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So when you go, so now as it stands, you mentioning your dad and doing what kind of sports did you coach?
Basketball.
Basketball. So he's a basketball coach.
Mm-hmm.
So have you thought about doing that as well with him?
So I actually have been, honestly. I'm looking into getting back into the school system. I was a instructional assistant beforehand, but I am looking into going back into the system. And I used to teach ESE, so special needs kids, Down syndrome,
okay.
autism, stuff like that. But I'm looking actually to go back into it. And with the work schedule I have now and the work schedule that has, it allows me even more free time now to be able to pursue this.
Right.
So it's kind of a big push I've been trying to push the last couple of weeks.
So what would you say? Okay, so now, I noticed you mentioned the timing a couple of times. So for example, when are the best days to go thrifting?
Honestly, it's really just hit or miss. Like a Monday could be good one week, Monday's bad the next. You want to definitely connect with Goodwill or wherever you go, and speak to the people who work there and try to figure out when they get new shipments in, when do they actually put them on the racks versus letting them just sit back there. So talking to and connecting again with the community Goodwills that are near you helps out a lot. Also just connecting with other people that are doing the same thing you're doing. So I just met a guy today that followed me from Fort Pierce all the way up to Palm Bay, and we communicated, and he informed me and let me know about Fort Pierce and the situation they're doing, how they work it and stuff like that, so I know when to go, when to not go. So I wouldn't necessarily say there's a good day or time to thrift. It's just a matter of getting there and getting it done.
Right. When Danielle and I went up to Denver, we were
That's my dream
surprised.
goal. I'm trying to go out to Denver.
They had this huge Goodwill. When I say huge,
Yeah, it was
I mean it is huge.
Yep.
And you walk in there and they give you gloves, and you go in there with a bag. And when they bring out the carts, it's out, and everybody's just fishing in.
Yep.
It's
So we have a couple of those out there.
okay.
We have a couple of those out here, and we have the one I went to in Fort Pierce today, and then we have bunch of them all around Florida, a couple in Fort Myers, Orlando, Miami, Jacksonville, the whole nine. So those are the ones I'm focusing on right now. It just keeps my pockets, I'm able to spend less money per item, and I can get more for the same amount of money I'd spend at a regular thrift shop. So it works out.
Especially nowadays, everybody, and it goes into popularity, out of popularity, unpopular.
Mhm.
It's not, it goes back and forth.
That's why I just grab it. It's gonna be back soon. So
yeah, one of the things that I did not know is I have a friend of mine that lived out in Washington, and he thrifts for copper-plated glass, or I don't know what it's called, but it's these two different types of glass, and they have a certain hue to them. One of them's like a bluish purple, and another one's almost like a golden color. And if you flip them, they have this etching that tells you whatever the info is.
yeah.
And he grabbed them, and then he sells them for buku money. So there's obviously all kinds of different things you can do with this.
Yeah.
I mean, you're focused on clothes. He's
Yeah.
focused on glasses and
Yeah,
stuff.
I see people go in there and grab old DVDs, records. I see people go in there and grab just shoes, like nonstop. They don't even come in pairs, and they grab them because I imagine they just sell. I've seen a lot of people actually go on eBay, and you could type in clothing lot, and it'll sell. They'll sell you like 100 pounds of clothes for $100 or something.
Right.
So the pricing is good. It's just what you get in it might not be the greatest, but.
I had a friend of mine that bought his son bought Jordans from like the mid-90s, I think it was. And when he got it, he was like, yeah, and he had it checked out and everything. And then somebody, I forgot what had happened, but somebody had thrown the shoe at him, and he went and grabbed it. And when he grabbed it so hard that it started to crumble.
Yeah, that's what happened.
I'd never heard of that.
The old 90s, those midsoles are they're not bad. It's honestly the best pair of Jordans you can get is the older, 90s, late 90s, early 90s, early 2000s. Yeah,
I was like, wow, he just crumbled. He spent hundreds on this.
It's repairable, but it's just, you got to get a whole new sole, and it just defeats the purpose of the 1990 shoe. So
yeah, dude. My heart broke for him because I was kind of like, I remember back in the day. See, I wasn't an Air Jordan guy. I was a Black Tops guy, but whatever. And then I was also Adidas Sambas. That was my style. K's.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. What about the Reebok pumps?
Yeah.
Those are super throwbacks.
Back in the day, I used to do Tim's.
Oh yeah.
Tim's or K's.
My dad's got like 10 pairs of Tim's. So.
Yeah, Tim's or K-Swishes.
Yep.
Baggy pants, long white shirts. We used to go to the bodegas and stuff to get because that's the best. Those are, in my opinion, I'm not saying it's a fact, but in my opinion, you want to get the best white T-shirts. You go to the bodegas, you go to the shops on the corner.
Yep.
You get those T-shirts. They cost $7, but they won't do nothing for.
Yep.
We used to get the huge ones. I used to walk around, and I was so skinny. I was 130 pounds. Then I had broad shoulders, so it's kind of like I couldn't get a medium, so I'd have to get a large or an extra large.
Yeah, they'd be huge on you.
And all my friends were, "Are you going parachuting? Is that what we're doing now? We're going parachuting?" Because I had these big Timbs, and it was just, but that was the style. What do you see as far as the styles? Now you've been doing it for a while. I'm sure you've seen trends come and go.
Yeah.
How do you keep up with them?
I'm just trying. So I'm trying to watch what is going on in the world, and I kind of just shoot for gameplay in that. So if I see something crazy going on in the world, I'll grab a piece that's either related or might be affected by it. And a lot of times that type of stuff correlates with what trend might go on, or what graphic, I guess, per se is in. Let's say something crazy happens in Myrtle Beach. If I find a Harley Davidson that's based out in Myrtle Beach, I'll get it, and for some reason it just jumps up price $20. So stuff like that, I kind of just keep my eye on. I'm always looking at social media and stuff to stay in tune. So
all right, so social media would be a great indicator of what's to come.
Definitely.
There's so many times when I've seen something and I'm like, didn't make a move on it, and then 3 weeks later,
Bitcoin.
some 7-year-old kid is like.
Bitcoin. I got or Tesla. I bought Tesla when it was at $90. I got like 5 or 6 shares. Now it's at like $900 or something. $800. I would have made like $5,000, but here I am. So
I used to day trade for a while. So
I tried getting into that, but
now the stock market is going red.
I'm a penny stocks guy.
Yeah.
I don't make no money doing that.
No. You and I will talk after this. So as it stands right now, with all that you're doing, And I know you were talking earlier about doing the giveaways. I know you were talking about, maybe going back into teaching and stuff like that. People who've done ESC, or maybe even going to coaching. But as far as what you do from the heart, no money associated, what kinds of places or things do you like to give back to the community? As far as, because there's a lot of people out there that have a lot less than we do.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times people forget how fortunate they are, no matter how little they have, because there's people out there that have nothing.
Yeah, for sure.
So what kinds of things are you trying to bring into the community to kind of say, hey, look, I see you and I can help you. Well, if not help you, then at least
provide something for
Yeah.
you. Yeah. So, right now it's just tough with just starting out, but in the near future, I want to do within a year. I want to be able to get back to daily bread. So, I'd like to be able to, print out just a bunch of maybe 50, 100 shirts, simple, graphic or whatever, but bring it out to Daily Bread and hand out, a T-shirt to everybody. That way they at least have clothes on their back.
Right.
We used to get back to Daily Bread when I was playing basketball at Bayside. So,
Daily Bread is a very good organization.
Yeah, for sure.
The stuff they do is
Definitely.
remarkable.
Secondly, I'd like to, my mom works for Family Allies, so she works for
Okay.
kids that are going through it essentially. So I'd like to be able to anonymously provide her with clothes. That way she even if it's stuff that's not branded me, stuff I thrift that
Right.
maybe doesn't sell or something, I could at least donate back rather than giving it back to Goodwill for them to go sell again. So
Right.
I definitely want to be able to donate a lot of the stuff I don't use and give it to people hand in hand. That way they have it versus having to go find it or vice versa. And then lastly, I definitely want to teaching ESC. I know with the pay and whatnot, but I feel like I'm definitely giving back with that, just because a lot of the stuff that we do day to day we take for granted. So being able to read, write, there's so many things that a lot of people aren't able to do. We are able to do on a day-to-day basis, and being able to teach someone how to do that, or step by step teach someone how to count from 1 to 20, and consistently has been huge. It helps me out a lot, with my understanding that what I'm doing is impactful. So
Right. One of the things I can and I can tell you right now, I greatly appreciate you having done that, because when I was my first up until 4th grade, I was in special ed, and a lot of people don't, like for example, speech. A lot of people take it for granted because they hear, they repeat.
Yep.
Well, as a deaf person, you don't hear what you need to repeat.
Yep.
So you have to do things like touching the throat, reading the lips, all that kind of stuff. And people always ask me, are you from New York or England or wherever? And I'm like, nah, the people that taught me how to speak, they were from England, China, South America. They were from all these, so these different words I say, it's like I'm Brazilian 1 second, English the next, from the Bronx the next,
Yep. Yeah. A lot of those things, like even using the restroom, we don't really take into consideration. Some people are even, as elementary school all the way up to, maybe being someone that was put on a bag or whatever. Stuff like that you just take for granted. So, I've always believed, my dad's always taught me, time waits for no man. So,
teaching men to be men. That's right.
So I've always, taken that with a grain of salt, and always make sure, I've always been appreciative of what I have. And
right.
So,
that's one of the, and that is one thing that you find consistently from those that are starting something and growing it into something else. In every single interview that I've done, they've almost all started, including with him, they've almost all started the same way. They saw they saw something, they said, I'm going to act on it, and they have a giving heart. Almost all of them. Actually, all of them. I don't even know one interview that hasn't gone that way. And I think it's because the more you put out there and what you're trying to do from the heart, the more you attract from those same people who are trying to do the same thing, even if you never met them before.
Yep, for sure.
And I think it's just amazing the things that you're doing, and I'm really looking forward to. And I wanted to take a minute and kind of show everybody just a couple pieces he put out here, just so you could see exactly what he was talking about. Let me get this for a second. All right. So, see right here? Tar heels. This one's gonna go like nothing, right here. Then you got a little bit of Arkansas. If you're a Razorback, I'm sorry to hear. and old school right there. That's pretty cool. So, and I gotta put this back because if I try to put that back over there, it's gonna fall over. Ah! I can't change this. Alright, there we go. Alright, now I gotta go back to holding this. Alright, but is there anything last words you wanted to say? Or is there...
Nothing else. I'm good. I'm happy to do the interview and get my message out there. You know, like I said, I'm just focusing on making sure we're able to get back and keeping our prices low. That way, you know, if you do, you know, decide to shop, it's not going to be, you know, crazy. That's the whole goal, you know.
Right.
So,
right. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to it. All the information is going to be down in the body, and it's also going to be hashtagged, and the links are going to be coming up as well. If you have any questions, that's where you're going to be able to reach out to him. Everything to get a hold of him with Facebook, Instagram, any of the social media, or any of the internet, anything like that is going to be on there as well. Don't be shy. Anything that you can see or any ways that you can help. If anybody's out there that says, hey, I'd like to be a part of this, don't be afraid to reach out either. I'm not saying yes, I'm not saying no, but you know, it does take a village.
Definitely.
Right. Thank
Artists,
you for
artists, marketing, anything in that nature, even organizations that I'd be able to donate back to, feel free to reach out. I'm always willing. So.
Oh, that's awesome. And especially hip hop.
Yeah, definitely.
If we could do hip hop.
Nas all day, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm a Nas. I'm a Nas.
Yes, yes. Take that, Adam. Yeah, I'm calling him out.
Yeah, I'm a Nas head. Nas, Biggie. I'm not too into the West Coast rap. It's okay, but I'm mostly into, you know, New York and whatnot. So.
You know, Snoop Dogg was talking about how Tupac and him ran into Nas, and Nas let Tupac know, hey, I ain't got no beef with you. And Tupac was all, hey, you know, I'm gonna do this, and thinking that he was all big shot. And so Nas, he's like, okay, brother, and he leaves. And Tupac's all running his mouth thinking, oh yeah, I told him. And Snoop's like, nah, he let you live.
Yeah.
You know?
Legit. That Illmatic album is definitely one of the best albums ever made.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah. The last album I was a little kind of weirded out by.
His albums have been touchy-feely for me, but that Illmatic album is crazy.
The Illmatic one, for sure.
That seals the deal for me.
Yeah, the last one it was tough to follow, to be honest. And I love Nas, my favorite rapper, but the last album was a bit tough for me to follow.
Yeah, for sure.
It was. A couple good things on there, but not too much. But so thank you guys for joining us, getting the 3, 2, 1 here with Shy. If you have any questions or anything, let him know. Reach out to him. All the info is going to be down. So yeah, okay. Y'all have a beautiful day. Bye.